Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and I am here to share with you some random banknotes that I've purchased that I have yet to integrate or catalog into my collection, but I thought you'd like to see them. I got these from a coin show in Texas called the TNA Coin Show, and then from a coin dealer by the name of Allen's. And some of you may be familiar with them, but I look forward to very quickly sharing with you some of the notes I was able to get. Can't say no to lovely North Korean propaganda banknotes. So I get those. And I get them because right now they're hard to find in the United States. You know, you can't import them, I guess knowingly, but that doesn't mean they're not available. Some of these predate those rules. Here's a nice little 50 one from there. You have a soldier, you have a peasant, you have a worker, and you have a government worker on this side. And they're all holding flames of liberty that say Juche and quotes of Kim Il-sung. And even the peasant's wearing a medal with our dear leader on it. I like these notes for the bucolic landscapes that you typically see on the back of the note. Here's a color proof of a Croatian note, one-sided, and in a different color, I guess, so if these ever got out, people couldn't take them. I got this note from Spain, and I like this note, and I'm going to tell you, if you are a collector of Peruvian notes or South American notes, I get that vibe from this note because you have a beautiful nature scene, and then right here you have a couple of hikers. And doesn't that just make you think almost of that note from Peru, I think, that has a similar scene, a big mountainside, and then a couple of people here at the bottom hiking? It's got me thinking maybe this was done by the same designer. But I'm going to research that, and I'll get back with you on that. Here's an early Tanzanian 5 shilling. Here's a Costa Rican 100, whatever they have, cologne. A lovely 500 yen from Japan that I did not have, so I was pretty happy to get it. And this, I know everybody's seen one of these notes before. In fact, all y'all probably have this note in your collection, but who can tell me what's different about this one? This is a Mozambique 100 escudos. Most of the time when you see this note, with a black overprint from the left to the right, from where Mozambique got their independence and overprinted the bank stock of their old banknotes. So this actually predates the Mozambique notes that have been overprinted. So I kind of like having a banknote of the host note and then the overprinted note. I like this note because it shows Corazon Aquino's husband, Benigno Aquino Jr. And if you look very carefully, you'll see that Benigno Aquino III has signed this note. So the son, the father, the wife, and 2 of the 3 became the president. I always like this one because of the typewriter and the scenes of life on the back of this note. Very nice little note. Saudi Arabian 5 real and a petroleum site. That's always kind of nice. Here we have a Nicaraguan Cordoba. And I have most of the modern Nicaraguan notes. I'm down to lacking about 5 or 6, and so I was pretty pleased to find this one that I didn't have. German 10 Deutschmark. Nothing to write home about, but always well designed to a high quality. And then I couldn't let this little gem go by me. It's predominantly red and blue on this side, but look at the change of colors. Blue to greens to reds to purples to blues. I don't know how they just have such a gradual coloring without showing clear-cut lines. This was a nice 10,000 lira of Italy. And here we have a Yemeni 20 with the city scene. I still think Muammar Gaddafi got a raw deal. He had done everything he could to make peace with the United States. He'd even turned over the components of his nuclear program to us, and he died an ignominious death without the support of the United States. And, of course, it's still in chaos to this day. Say what we will about strongmen here in the United States, there are some countries that don't seem to handle freedom very well, but it's for that country to make the determination, and it should not be for us. This is a Dominican Republic 20 peso polymer. Here's a 500 arriere, or a 500 arriere from Madagascar. And it was a note I didn't think I had, and I got it because, you know, I like cows. And here we have a little shepherd, some cows, and some humongous horns on that. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. And here we have a little commemorative note from, off the top of my head, I can't even remember it. But a nice, well-designed little note. Little breakaway country that's firmly in the pocket of Putin. Lost to Russia. Here's one of the new family of banknotes from Barbados. We got a vertical image in green. And on this side, a cricket scene. So that's kind of neat. There you go. Cricket is on a banknote. Here's a $10 bill from that same series. Different color. And on this side, it's a nice, I guess, highway scene. You got buses, you got cars. I guess this is a bustling downtown. I think there at the bottom it even says that it is the Charles Duncan O'Neill Bridge in Bridgetown. There you go. A Cuban 3 peso. An old Yugoslavian 50 dinara. Somebody jackhammering on that side. That's always nice. A lovely Romanian Lee. Here is a dragon's blood tree from Yemen. And on this side, a lovely terrace. Here we have a lovely 100 Bangladeshi taka. A lovely 10 Syrian pound with I don't know. I'm going to assume it's a petroleum something or other. Paper 2 of the Solomon Islands. A Dominican 20 in paper. I actually got that in a junk box for very little. It's probably worth very little, but there you go. Here's another Croatian 1,000. This time it has a partial print on the back, but it's on like an orange paper so that these designs can't go out and then be circulated. Here's a lovely 20 of Israel, showing the raising of the Israeli flag, and then a scene of buildings. It looks like ships at sea up here at the top, and different scenes from Israeli life. Here's a 30,000 Watsits from Cambodia. And what's interesting about this note is it's paper, but there's a polymer hole right there. There's a naga, or snakehead. And then on this side, there's the king and one of the generals from the time period of the Khmer Rouge. I think he started out with the Khmer Rouge and then changed sides. I don't know more, so if I've offended somebody, forgive me. Over here, interesting enough, is the Eiffel Tower in France, and they're commemorating some sort of French agreement with Cambodia. At the bottom of this note, it says, the 30th anniversary of the Accords of Paris and Cambodia, 1991-2021. An interesting note. Here we have a Greek. Oh, these last notes I'm showing you are all from Allen's. Here we have a Greek 100 drachma. Here we have, it says Ceylon, 2 rupees in red. It's kind of nice. Lots of pillars. Here we have a Bhutan 10 Ngultram. And I will never, ever pretend to know what they're saying. He's wearing the raven crown. Here we have an Azerbaijan 50 manat. And imaginatively, here's a 5 mana with the same design. Those were denominations I was lacking, so I was happy to get them. Here's a 2 Goltrum, and I enjoy the dragons that are on either sides of it. And then there's one of their palaces. You can go to Texas and see buildings designed that same way. Here's a 1 Manat from Azerbaijan. And, you know, Afghanistan has captured my heart. And there's a little tiny 10 Afghanis. An Argentine note that for some reason had escaped my collection. There's you a Yugoslavian 100 dinara. 20 dinara. 10. And a couple of 50s. And I got them because of their different dates. You know, I'm getting to the point where I enjoy having the full collection. So I'm to the point where I'm getting dates. Nikola Tesla on a 500 dinara. Here's a Mongolian Tugrik. Here's a Solomon Island $2 in paper, but I like it because it's my first Solomon Island note with Queen Elizabeth II on it. Otherwise, the design is the same as you would see on any others. Here's a Sudanese 2-pound in blue. An Uzbekistan 500. Here's a Uganda. Looks like it's 1,000 shillings. And on one side, some guy chopping something. I know it's not Idi Amin, and I know it's not a person getting chopped, but probably some, like maybe banana harvest or something. And then something I'm familiar with growing up here in Oklahoma, giant holders of the crop. We called them grain elevators out where I lived. And while ours were in concrete, this looks to be in sheet iron. Here's a 2 Emilingeni from Swaziland, the same king, but an industrial scene on the back of that $2 bill. I'll always love Suriname and their 2.5 Goldens. They have beautiful birds on their notes. Let's see, what else do I have to share? Here is 1,000 drachma with the Isla statue. Originally, they would have had like eyes made in precious stones and maybe even gold. I think that's a beautiful note there. Nice hillside scene and Greek lady. Here's another statue on another 1,000 drachmas. And there you have a discus thrower. And that's probably a temple to Zeus, maybe? I don't know. I'm not Greek. I'll have to figure it out. Here's an early guinea, 100 francs. And it's just a nice early African note. And here they are harvesting pineapples. Here's a later Guinea banknote of 500 francs and another industrial scene on the back side. I was pretty happy to finish this series of notes from Israel. This is a 50 Lirat. And on this side, it's a big note. A lovely mosaic. So that's another mosaic design that will go well on my collection. And you have a menorah. It looks like a carrot, a horn, and maybe some pomegranates. There must be something to that imagery. It all escapes me now. But here we have a 10 Lirat with a scientist on this side. And on this side, probably the scroll of Isaiah as found in the Qumran Caverns. I got to see the scroll of Isaiah when I was in Jerusalem, and it was a humbling experience. Here's 1,000 peso from Guinea-Bissau, guy weaving, and a scene that shows the apotheosis of triumph. So you got a bunch of naked people on this, people. And wrapped in flags, jumping on horses. There's bananas, and there's even a little chicken right there. So you have to be looking to find the chicken. And then here we have a 50 Lirat of Israel and one of the gates of the city of Jerusalem. Now here's the banknote that I bought and then discovered it was an amazingly scarce banknote. This banknote was sold to me as a $2 from Jamaica. And I was glad to get it. And I was glad to get it because it's an 888 note. But if you look, it's a low serial number because it is a 888, and it's a 3-digit serial number on the banknote, so that's pretty neat. And the first 3 characters are F, A, and that 0 is actually a letter O. This banknote is I think they only made like 20,000 of this note. They issued 10,000 of them in folders, and they issued 10,000 through the FAO, and these were actually sold as an FAO commemorative. And my coin collecting friends will know that FAO commemoratives can sometimes be pretty valuable, but were one of the more successful things that the UN has ever done in trying to help people develop self-sufficiency in food and water. So, I mean, they actually help people and not just give them money. So I will always support a program that does that. And this note is the 888th note in the FAO banknote program. This is the only note to date that has ever been issued as an FAO commemorative. And on the back you have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, food education for all, and the scene that you see in a lot of developing countries of all the colors of all the kids getting together for a school picture. One of my favorite notes, and I was happy to get it for next to nothing. All right, there's a lot of here to think about and to hash over, and I want you guys to enjoy cussing and discussing this note with me. Make comments. Tell me which ones you'd like to see as a unique video, and let's get my subscribes up. I'm around 920, and I want to be over 1,000, and I'm still working on hacking the algorithm. So if you got any clues for me, share those with me as well. I hope you have a jewel of a day.